All right, guys, welcome to the second um, brewery showcase. And as you can see by the title, and if you're watching this after it's been streamed, well, by the time I've got a thumbnail ready for this, it'll probably have been irrelevant, but oh well. Yeah, we are taking a look at Torrside Brewing, and it's not showing me where any of the viewers are. So I don't know if we're live at the moment or if it's just recording. I don't know. Oh, nearly knocked over a glass. Surprise, surprise. In fact, I need to get comments on this anyway because, yes, I've got boxes on, don't worry. My feet fucking stink though. No, they don't really. I'm blessed that way. For as big as I am legitimately, yeah, we are live. So, yeah, for as big as I am, I'm actually not that. So I've got no viewers at the moment. That's all it's all about. If people come in, I can answer comments and that sort of thing. But that's not what I'm doing. It's just more content for the channel, and I want to do these more regularly. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, for as big as I am, I'm surprised that I don't smell as much in the summer months compared to a lot of people. So you've got to take the small things. Anyway, let's quickly get rid of that. There we go. Because I don't need to see that Hangouts is going to be ended soon. So we found an alternative. Crisis averted. Anyway, yeah, I need to get to like proper streaming with like encoding and like get a proper setup. You know, have a mic and all sorts of stuff. But it's a lot of effort for a guy like me. Essentially, a man who's sat on the floor using a broken office chair as a rest, and also to place his tripod on when he records the reviews. Anyway, so yeah, really enjoyed doing that the first one for Runway Brewing, and I hope you all enjoyed it too. Some people don't like to watch live stuff. Some people don't really waste their time watching my videos, so at least some content gets to that. And the good thing about doing this is if anybody does come on to leave a comment, we can have a bit of a discussion about beer-related things. Anyway, so Torrside Brewing, a brewery who I don't drink enough of, shock horror, and produced some of the best smoked beers that I've had. And by the way, I hope the fan noise isn't too bad in there. So there I am, and look how red I am. Caught the sun terribly because I just couldn't be bothered with sun cream when I went to the shop today. Instantly regretted it since it's like the hottest day ever. It feels. It's so much more uncomfortable when it's in your own country, I found, because this is pretty much nothing compared to what I've experienced in Germany. Nice little link from smoked beers to Germany there. But yeah, so it's just so uncomfortable when it's in your own territory. And I actually went to the shop today because I was really in the mood to buy the Beefeater Blood Orange Gin, which they did have, 13 quid. But then I saw that they were selling Lone Wolf from Brewdog. This is the Cloudy Lemon Gin. And I thought, oh, 7 quid extra. I'm not going to be drinking this too quickly. Might share it with my younger brother, who is a big fan of gin. Gin is probably my favourite spirits, to be honest. And with it being a summer, although it's overcast out and it was raining slightly, thank fuck for that. You're not normal if this is your ideal weather. I'm joking, but I'm not really. Anyway, so yeah, I thought I'd pick this up. And I got home, and then I realised in Asda, where I got it from, you get a complimentary glass with every bottle. And I forgot to get one. Didn't even realise it. I don't think they have them on the shelves, to be honest. So yeah, I'm gutted about that. From what I've seen, it's a really nice, oversized, gin glass, which I'd probably never really use anyway, to be honest. But that's not the point. I'm a fucking idiot. And that's why I'm sat on the floor in my bedroom recording beer reviews, because I'm living the life. Anyway, so back onto topic Torrside. We've got 3 offerings today. And unfortunately, not smoked beer in sight. Did pick these up from Northern Beer Temple. Yeah, Torrside are one of those breweries who I don't think that, and I hate when people use this word to talk about like inanimate objects and foods and things like that. I just don't think they're sexy enough. Shuddered because I said that. But I think they're very overlooked, and I would say that maybe going into cans would be an idea. I think they did actually do a blog post as to why they haven't moved into cans, which I probably should have actually read before even mentioning it. So I don't know what their justifications are. I'm sure it makes sense, but you know, look at what's happened to Arbor's popularity since going into cans. I mean, you don't have to do it that way with like full pint cans of, you know, IPAs and stuff like that. But it maybe do like the core range in cans, that sort of thing. I was having this discussion with John from Northern Beer Temple, because I think that the brewery does get overlooked, and unfairly so. Even though I'd love to go to Smokefest, which sounds right up my street. And yes, that is just a random pair of scissors on the floor. And as you can see, the fan favourite plug socket is actually in use. Anyway, so got 3 beers, all moderately priced, which I like. The first one, I don't know what order I'm going to do these in yet, and they have been out of the fridge, but they're sweating now. So we've got Whistling in the Dark, which is one of my favourite styles, a dark mild. So looking forward to trying that one. 3.6% ABV. Then we've got a bottle of the Craft Hoodlums, which is, oh, it feels so nice. It feels really nice on your face. Rub that condensation in. It's so fucking pervy. I was genuinely thinking of starting up like an OnlyFans account, which I know like porn stars and thoughts usually set up, but not like use it for anything sexual. I mean, come on, who needs to see this? But just like doing it every day, you know, things like just doing beer, just drinking a beer on OnlyFans and people subscribing to that. I'd like to try it for a couple of months just to see if I could make money off just doing the most mundane everyday tasks. And if people want to want to it, that's fair enough. That's your prerogative. If I ever fueled your masturbatory sessions or have inspired you to copulate with a loved one, or if I'm in the background, then I've done my job, as well as informing you about beer, which is odd to say since about 90% of my viewership is men over the age of 40. So, anyway, got a bottle of Craft Hoodlums, which is a pale ale with rye, and that is at 4.5%, all in 500ml bottles, very much appreciated. And then we've got Margin for Error, which is an American bitter, clocking in at 4.8% ABV. And of course, the artwork comes from Emma Sidwell, who I think is either she's the wife, fiance, or girlfriend of one of the brewers or founders of the brewery. So yeah, pretty much paid like around £3.40, £3.40 for the Craft Hoodlums, £3.35 for the Margin of Error, and then £3 for the bottle of mild. Don't know why I call that face. Anyway, let's see if we've got any viewers or any comments. Probably not. Don't deserve them. Let's see. Technology could work, please. Yeah, no viewers. It is, you know, it's not so beautiful now, so people are obviously outside. And I was outside, and I don't want to go back outside for the rest of the day. So using our glasses that I don't really use for some reason. Anyway, so I think I'm going to start off with the American bitter, just because it sounds out of the 3 the more simple sort of style of beer. I've just realised there's a curvature on this office chair, so I don't know if my phone is actually going to stand. So yeah, basically like the first episode of this beer or brewery showcase. It's essentially what Simon Martin does, where on his Thursday nights and stuff, where he just has a live stream. Obviously, many more people watching that, rightly so, and and then records beer reviews and then uploads them. But I'll be doing because I'm making the move of going to one beer review every couple of days, although you'll be seeing for the next week or so, because I've got 3 beers from this brewery yet to upload and 2 beers from that brewery to upload. I'm doing it one beer on that day and then 2 beers from that same brewery, from that one brewery. So take for instance Nicola San Diego and Nicola New York. I thought on one day I'd upload one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then obviously the next day would just be a standalone beer. Then until I've got rid of my backlog, we will be going to one beer review every 2 days. So that's perfect for this sort of setup. So I can do the live recording, and then the week after, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I've got the brewery showcase beers done. Spent way too long explaining that, but oh well. So, funny enough, my camera is actually sending. I was going to try that software that I forgot what it's called that we did live with Harry a few days ago, and the Canadian guy's been doing. But I just thought this would be easier for now. Just use this until Hangouts goes away. So anyway, and the good thing is, if I do go to the next software, I can have a 2-camera setup and log in on this, and then log in on this and host it on this. So we shall see. Don't know why I'm talking to that camera when it's actually not recording. So anyway, without any further ado, let's finally get started with this. So, going to be having a look at the Margin of Error American Bitter. So, enjoy the show. Hi guys, welcome to another beer review, and this is the first of a trio of breweries, beer reviews this week. I'm recording live as I'm doing this, so added pressure. This is the first of 3 Torrside beers that you're going to see this week. And I thought I would start off with the American Bitter Margin of Error. Really nice, simple artwork from Emma Sidwell there. And Torrside, a very often overlooked brewery. I've gone into detail in the live show, so if you're interested, I'll put the link down below so you can see that. But yeah, so an American Bitter, clocking in at 4.8% ABV. Hottest day of the year today, record-breakingly hot, horribly hot, but it's overcast as I'm recording this, and I think it's actually going to rain as well. So I'm doing it inside. I was going to do this outside, but there's no way with someone with my lack of pigment can actually sit outside for more than 10 minutes. It was already bad enough because I had a walk to the Asda and I pretty much nearly collapsed. Anyway, so I'm going to use my new glass for this one. So let's see what we get. And I hope with these being in the fridge during this weather we've had, that they have settled. We shall see. So, beer in a glass then. And I tell you what, that's got a little bit of murk to it. A lovely sort of rusty amber colour. A little bit of a toffee note there as well. Beer poured with 2 fingers worth of very soft beige looking head. For some reason, this reminds me of something like Honker's Ale in the appearance. But yeah, it looks really nice in this style of glass. So let's see what we get on the nose. And yes, I am sat on the floor. Oh, that's nice. Sherbety, sweet, sticky, resiny malt character. It's like butter biscuits, but it's not like diacetyl butter or anything like that. Yeah, it's like those mixed selection boxes of biscuits you can get. You're getting all the flavours. You've got chocolate on that one. You've got like nuts in that one. You've got like a ginger biscuit there. Yeah, it's got that sort of sweetness, but then there's this underlining muskiness in there. That smells really nice, nice and balanced, simple. So let's give it a taste. Cheers, guys, and cheers to you watching this live. Because there's no one actually watching me at the moment, so I'm doubly alone today. Cheers. It's crisp. It's got a nice medium mouthfeel to it. You get a little bit of citrus bite there. In fact, yeah, a nice sherbety citrus character on the back end. Nice roasty malt character coming through on this one. So I don't know what an American bitter would be. Probably just slightly more, excuse me, slightly more hops than like a traditional English bitter. Bit of biscuity bready with a bit of hot bite to it. It's got like a real classic familiarity to it, and I really like that. That is so easy drinking. That is a beer made for this weather. If you go into the pub, 4.8%, you could get carried away with that. I think, how much did I pay for this one? I paid £3.35, and it's money well spent. Picks up from North Beer Temple. But an awful day like this is going down an absolute treat. It really, really is. Lovely, lovely stuff. But it's quite carbonated because I think I drank a bit too much too quickly. As I get my back, you know, when you always feel winded. But that's just down to me. That's not anything to do with conditioning or anything like that. But yeah, that's a really nice solid beer. It's not going to set the world alight or anything like that, but it's doing the job. Definitely, definitely doing the job. And it does remind me of sort of like a more refined Honkers ale. Because I've not had too many quote unquote American bitters, it would seem. So you're getting little twists into it's like an American brown ale almost. Obviously, nowhere near the flavour profile, but you just get that slight tweak in flavour. But it's not just like a boring, drab, twiggy bitter. It's got that lovely little bit of a hot bite, citrusy edge, and a little bit of dank resiny tone in there as well. So yeah, really solid stuff. I'm going to give that one an 8 out of 10. It's not usually my go-to style of beer, but I would not be upset having a pint of that in a sweltering beer garden with a ploughman's lunch. There we go. Anyway, so if you've tried this one, then let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. And hopefully you'll join me for the other reviews this week of Torrside and for many more in the future. So yeah, if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions. Go check out Torrside. Go check out Emma Sidwell as well for that lovely, simple artwork. And yeah, look out for more reviews in the future. Thank you all for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers. That went down really well. That is a really lovely little beer. That. I won't pour the rest yet. Put that cap back on. Yeah, I'm really fighting a burp here, by the way. So yeah, off to a good start so far with the Torrside. Let's see if by chance we've got any comments. Well, we've got a viewer, but that might be me because I'm watching it on my phone. But that doesn't matter. It's not about that. It just means it won't be on that long for recording, that's all. Anyway, so yeah, moving swiftly on, I would say. I have to get thumbnails a bit later on, so I'm going to need to get a thumbnail for all 3 beers. It's a tough one. It's a really tough one. Anyway, I don't even have any water to clean my mouth out between beers. But that's not a problem. So yeah, by the way, if anyone's watching this now if you could comment about the audio quality, because I've literally got my headset plugged in there and the mic here. So I find when I've got it here, it picks up really loud. And I don't think the little green microphone level thing on Hangouts is accurate because it's doing the exact same thing. The microphone cannot be that sensitive, but I don't want it to be muddy either. So yeah, let's move on to, we'll go to the craft woodlands next. The pale ale with rye, see how that is. Then we'll finish on the mild. Good old mild to finish off the session. Even though I'll probably be drinking a few more beers today. We shall see. So anyway, thank you for sticking with me so far. Let's get the second beer review. Hi guys, welcome to the second of 3 Torrside reviews this week. As part of the Brewery Showcase series that I do, where I record one live video and even record myself recording videos. So it's very meta, very ripping off Simon from Real Ale Craft Beer. But it's a good concept, and it gives me a good excuse to get some good content out there. Fingers crossed. So, the second beer that we're going to be looking at is the Craft Woodlands, which is a pale ale with rye, and this is clocking in at 4.5% ABV. Paid £3.40 for this at Northern Beer Temple. Oh, that was a horrible burp. And let's see what we get with this one. I'm going to be using my really weighty track glass. You could literally kill someone with this. I suppose you could kill someone with any glass, really. But, let's see what we get with this one. Pouring nice and pale so far. Rye is a character. I like it when beers have that sort of feel of rye, but beers that have actually had rye included in the beer, funny enough, doesn't always work for me, even though I love rye bread. You know what I mean? I love the crust of the rye bread. So I'm interested to see just how spicy and toasty this will make the beer. But yeah, beer in a glass then, and it's got a lovely little bit of cloudiness there to it, almost reminds me of lemon juice with a bit of more amber hue. Head is about, well, there's about half finger's worth of nice white head. Nice little dense, cloudy looking beer. So let's see what we get on the nose. It's got a very sort of general floral citrusy aroma to it. It's really not jumping out of the glass by any means. Really nice, laid back. A little bit of sweetness in there. You get that slight sweet biscuity malt character. Not really getting too much rye on the nose. But yeah, really nice, simple smelling beer. So let's give it a taste. Cheers. Well, the rye comes out a lot more on the flavour of the beer. In fact, it's got a really nice body to it, this beer. Upper end of medium, but it's, I don't know, how would I describe it? It's got very subtle creaminess to it. My first instinct is, this is screaming to be poured on cask. This is ultimate cask beer territory that we're in. I'm actually recording live and there's a pop up on the screen, so we'll get that sorted. Spicy overtones on the back end. It's not really hoppy, it's not really fruity. It's more of a classic British pale ale, I would say, with maybe a slight hop character. A little bit of a floral edge, herbal as well. It's not an exciting pale ale by any stretch, but I'm really glad that rye character isn't too in your face. It dries out the beer on the back end, but just enough. Yeah, it's all right. It's an okay beer. Not really my sort of thing, but if you're into your traditional sort of ales and you saw this on cask, I think that would be the most optimum way to drink a beer like this. There may be a bit of like a lemon zing, almost reminds me of the lemon juice that you get in a squeezy bottle. And this would go really well, I would say, with like deep fried breaded meats, you know, like a schnitzel or a deep fried chicken, that sort of thing, or battered fish. Yeah, fish and chip beer. This is a perfect fish and chip beer. And now I instantly want fish and chips. Yeah, it's not bad. In terms of rating, I'd probably give this about a 6.5 out of 10. It's just underneath what I'd consider I'd buy that beer again territory at 7. But yeah, I think a 6.5 is fair. Some people might drink that and think it's one of the best things they've ever put in their mouth. Didn't think before I spoke then. But yeah, for me, it's not too bad. Not too bad, but far from an exciting sort of beer. There's a real sense of like modesty and honesty about it. And if anybody can say honesty in regards to a beer, then just ignore every word that they say because they are talking utter shit. But you're used to that with the Coral Stream and stuff. So yeah, anyway, Craft Hoodlums, a pale ale with rye. I'm going to give that one 6.5 out of 10. Go check out the previous video. Go check out the Torrside playlist, as well as checking out Torrside and Emma Skidwell. Skidwell? Why did I say Skidwell? Sidwell. I've only had 2 beers. Well, technically 1 beer because I've just recorded a review of the other one that I've got. But yeah, something a little bit familiar, but yeah, actually, it's really quite familiar British tasting beer. British classic real ale, and that you'd have on cask in a mountainous region like the Peak District or the Lake District. Those beers always remind me of that sort of thing. Surrounded by woodland, sat in the beer garden, and say, "Oh look, there's a fox." Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, if you tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions. Are you a fan of the brewery? And more importantly, I hope you'll join me for the final beer this week, and not the last beer that I'll be reviewing at Torrside. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers. Keep winking at the end of videos, and it's very creepy. I don't know why I do that. I really don't know why I've started winking instead of like holding up the glass and saying cheers. But yeah, that's it's all right. It's doing the trick. But yeah, definitely one of those beers where you instantly think this needs to be on cast. Really, really does have that impression. But yeah, another one to add to the Torrside playlist. So let's see on the off chance if we've got any more comments. Okay, so we've got a comment from Rob from Hoxie who says, "It's me." Hi, Rob. And then got a comment from James Rothwell. Can't speak today. Who says, "Hello, sir. How you doing, James? Hope you're doing okay." And then Rob is trolling me by saying, "Look, a fox. That's a t-shirt that needs to be designed." And winker. Definitely a winker. And James says, "Their Imperial Porter is lovely." Yeah, they did have, speak of the sort of like Imperial big bottles. I didn't notice it until I'd already paid for the beers that I bought, and I didn't really feel comfortable buying another, big bottle of beer. But they had the Dogs of War series, and one of them was a smoked something or other. I can't remember. But it was a big smoky beer, and I love smoked beer. And Torrside for me are one of the best breweries outside of a place like Bamberg that produce smoked beer. In fact, that was my first beer that I had from Torrside, which was it was just a simple Rauch beer, and it was up there with the Schlenkerla stuff. It was really, really damn good. Centennial Porter. Ooh, that sounds nice. Was that like a hoppy porter, or was it just like subtly hopped with Centennial? But that sounds good. I'll have to pick up some of the Dogs of War stuff because they looked really nice, and they sounded pretty good as well. But I'd already spent money on beer, so didn't really want to spend more because I'm a cheapskate, even though I've started to spend a lot more and a lot more quickly on beer. itself. So anyway, on to the beer that I'm looking forward to the most, because it's one of my favourite styles. When you go to a pub, it always tends to be with family or work colleagues, or friends who you see every now and then. So you end up going to really nicely decorated places, but the tap selection is always utter shite. So if they've got a nice mild on there, doesn't matter if it's big or if it's for the local brewery, I don't care. I'm on the milds. I like milds, especially if I'm playing darts. So yeah, if you wanna win my heart, take me out to a pub, buy me a pint of mild, and let's throw some arrows. Anyway, so last beer today is the Whistling in the Dark, which is a dark mild, clocking in at 3.6% ABV. Again, with artwork by Emma Sidwell, not Skidwell, as I incorrectly said. And this is the cheapest of the bunch at £3. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one the most. I just hope I've not contaminated my palate to the point where I won't get the flavours. Anyway, that'll probably be the case. And of course, a nice classic pint pot for a beer like this. Anyway, let's get this recorded. Hi guys, and welcome to the third and final Torrside beer for this week as part of my Brewery Showcase series. If you've not already seen the previous episodes and the live stream, then I'll put the links down below. Don't waste your time to live stream now, because a lot of it is pretty much dead air. And then I do get nice activity in the comments. So yeah, if you just want to sit there and watch me sit on the floor talking utter tripe, then you are welcome to do so. Links down below. And I've pointed up with my thumbs. You work that one out. Anyway, so the final beer for this week, and won't be the last one that we review, is the Whistling in the Dark, which is a dark mild. I do love a nice dark mild. Picked this up from Northern Beer Temple, paid £3 for it. And yeah, 500ml glass. And because it's a mild, I've got to use the correct glassware. I'm sorry, I'm a traditionalist. I have just been voted as Prime Minister, so I'm trying to keep it as British as possible. Please take that comment with a grain of salt. But I've got to get used to it now. If I thought getting called Boris Johnson every now and then was going to become tedious, now that he's in the spotlight because he's ruling our country, I better get used to it again. Although, use it to my powers, because I'm sure there are people who there are some ladies out there who are just craving to get a piece of Boris, but home and bargains, always get yourself a nice bargain. And I am the home and bargains version of Boris Johnson, but I'm not a Tory. Anyway, so, not that I give two flying fucks if you're a Tory, or if you're voting Labour, or if you're a Green Party, or whatever. As long as you treat me with respect and we can have a nice conversation, I don't care what your political beliefs are, because I'm not a twat like a lot of people are, who basically cry and moan and literally throw punches based on political allegiances. Anyway, soapbox well and truly kicked from underneath my feet. Beer in a glass, and it's exactly what you want. Lovely, pretty much jet black appearance, a nice creamy 2 fingers worth of the beige head. I could have poured it all in, don't know why I didn't. I've got to say though, it is extremely warm today, and the beers have warmed up quite quickly, so I probably should have started off this with this one first when it was a bit more chilled, but I don't care. I love a nice mild, and yeah, I thought I'd give this one a go. So let's see what we get on the nose. It's not so good. Sweet. Plums, raisins, figs. Dense chocolate cake. Even like Jamaica cake in there as well. Brown sugar caramelized. It's not too like caster sugar vibrant sweetness or synthetic sweetness. It's like dense, cakey, orangey, nutty. Oh, it's so aromatic. There's just something about milds that 3.6%, but they're just so full of character. And I don't know how you can get like these big imperial stouts that are just bland as fuck, but you can get I'm just going off the nose, of course. Oh, but that's even got like a very slight smokiness, which excites me because Torrside are like one of the masters of smoked malts here in the UK. But yeah, that's just smelling fantastic. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. Yeah, that's exactly what I want with a mild. Don't get me wrong, I'd like it to be a little bit more creamier, but I know for its ABV, it's got such a nice, satisfying body. And even though it is slightly chilled, it's not at room temperature yet. It's still such a lovely beer. And at 3.6, I've always found that milds get really filling as well, but in a good way. Yeah, this is ticking all the boxes of what this style should be. You'd almost think that they've used smoked malts in this at some point. And there's thunder. Because the craft gods are looking down on me and going to punish me eternally for my praising of the mild. But yeah, it's cakey. It's even got a little bit of a dark, crusty wholemeal rye breadiness to it. But then you get very subtle, almost like stem ginger sort of flavour, but without the heat. Lovely bitter aftertaste on this one. Oh yeah, this is just. I could just drink this beer all day. I really, really could. And I think. I don't know why more breweries don't do milds. I really don't. It's. From what I've learned, it's such an inexpensive beer to make. But yeah, it's so full of flavour. I mean, yeah, you'll get some of like the bigger macro stuff that you get in pubs where it's like chilled down ridiculously, where those flavours are masked. But they have like a creaminess about them, which I would really like in this. But again, it's in a bottle form. I'm sure if this was on cask or in keg, chilled down slightly, it would be an even more satisfying drinking experience. But just the right amount of dark fruit character, just the right amount of cakey sweetness. Then you've got this. I'm convinced that there's smoked malts. Don't know if the lightning picked up then. I love this. I absolutely love this. Do you know what? I'm going to turn my fan off because I want that to be picked up on camera. I fucking love thunderstorms. I really, really do. I do. I absolutely love thunderstorms. I'm not talking to someone else, by the way. I'm recording this live as I'm doing this. God, it's got warm in here already. Just turning that fan off. I hope the microphone is picking that up, and that one is as well. But if you're in England, you're probably hearing that no matter where you are. Anyway, back onto the beer. Oh, this is ticking all the boxes. It really, really is. And now horrendous downpour. See, a lot of people, right? And this is going to people watching this live and people watching some videos. When something good happens, like the heavens usually open and it's like angelic, clear blue skies, not a cloud anywhere. The heavens have opened up for me. The clouds have come in. It's chilled down slightly. It's thunder and lightning. It's pissing down. This is. I'm not a religious man. I really am not. But this to me is God looking down at me and saying, Peter, you're absolutely nailing it. You're absolutely nailing it. Well, if it wasn't for your luxurious waters, my lord, I would not be able to drink this beer in the first place. Joking aside, this is genuinely a lovely, lovely beer. And it's going to sound crazy, but right now, in fact, I can put that fan back on because it's muggy as fuck. Right now, at this moment, this is just perfection for me right now. And it's simple brewing, but it's so effective. And I've already had uh, a pale ale with rye and then an American bitter. But this to me, it's a dark mild, but it's just so satisfying. And Torrside, they're masters of the smoked malt, and I've had so many really good, satisfying experiences with their darker beers. The Monster series, I'm not the biggest fan of. I had a few of those with Paul when he visited from PA Brew News. But this is just wonderful. It really, really is. This is my sort of beer to drink on a daily. And I better shut that window because I think there's rain coming in my room. But I don't care. If God is willing it, then God is willing it. Do you know what I mean? And I've got one of those floppy fringes now, but I don't care. Yeah, this to me is a 10 out of 10. It's just, that's why I love that style of beer. And even though it is slightly at room temperature, and I'm spilling it all over myself, rub it in, moisturise the legs, because I'm not wearing any pants, by the way. It's all coming out now. This is just wonderful. This is a wonderful, wonderful beer. And Paul, if you are watching either the video or live, when you come back to England, we'll have to go just on a crusade of mild beers because it's such a wonderful style. It's filling me up. It's lunch and a beer in a beer, essentially. And yeah, fantastic stuff. Torrside, you've done a wonderful, wonderful job with that beer. I absolutely love it. So if you've tried this one, then let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Are you a fan of the brewery? Are you a fan of milds? Do you agree with me that more like hype craft breweries should just do a simple mild? I know Cloudwater have. I think a few others, notable breweries have done them as well. But I just think it's such an art form within the art form of brewing in general. And yeah, a mild. It just amazes me how flavoursome and robust beer at 3.5% can be. That has such a reputation for being bland, working men's club sort of, after work on a Friday sort of beer. Which, what's wrong with that in the first place? Do you know what I mean? What's wrong with the guy who just wants to drink San Miguel all day after he's worked hard throughout the week? What's wrong with I'm going off stereotypes here, but what's wrong with the man or woman who likes to enjoy a bottle of house prosecco on a Friday night with their spouse? Do you know what I mean? I think we get to that point where we judge people too much on alcohol that they consume. Of course, there's like the extremes where people are like collapsed on the street with 10 bottles of white lightning surrounding them, but that's their choice. So more power to them. Although if you get to that point, please do seek help, because drinking one sip of that, I'm sure, is going to corrode your insides. But to devour bottle after bottle of white lightning, I said blue lightning, so out of touch. typical, Tory Prime Minister. But yeah, drinking for Queen and country. Anyway, I think that's beautiful. It really, really is. And I think I want that to be the next big thing in beer. I want the mild, not to be like the ironic, oh, I love Timothy Taylor, I love Landlord, or like, oh, Bud Light is such a good beer, although Bud Light to me is a genuinely good beer. Perhaps with ribbon now. I've got you back. But do you know what I mean? I don't want it to be popular in an ironic way. I want people to realise just how satisfying this simple, cost-effective brew can be, and because you are getting those roasty flavours that you might get in a porter or a stout. And I've had some imperial stouts recently, which promise you the world, but when you drink them, you're like, this is boring. Do you know what I mean? Whereas this is just a 3.5% mild, and it's got bags full of flavour, character, and robustness. And that floppy bit on the fringe has got a bit of a curl, Maximo Park curl going on. I don't care. I'm metamorphosizing in front of you as I'm reviewing this beer. I think it's clear that I've not had anything sweet today because I am getting a little bit rowdy. But anyway, yeah, I know it's been a bit of a long review, shock horror. But yeah, that's beautiful stuff. 10 out of 10. I can't fault it. I'm enjoying it way too much. The only way it would lose points is if I had about 10 other milds and I was drinking them all, comparing them all. That's the only way that beer would probably lose marks. But Torrside, best beer of the bunch this week. And yeah, one that I would definitely pick up again. And Harry for Bleeders Breweries, if you're watching this, try and source yourself a bottle of that, bud. And you too, Dean. Don't know why I said that in an angry way, but check that beer out because it's absolutely lovely. And Paul, I'll get you a bottle. Anyway, so if you've tried this, so let me know your thoughts, opinions. Are you a fan of Torrside? Are you a fan of Miles? Love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And yeah, go check out the brewery. I've had to do this for every review now. Also, check out Emma Sidwell because their artwork it's really nice. I mean, yeah, the labels themselves, I'm not going to lie, could probably do with a bit of an upgrade. But keep her work if you ever do. But yeah, just lovely stuff. It reminds me of like, what is it? Was it called Monkey Dust? That BBC, was it BBC Two or BBC Three? Like really bleak cartoon that they had. It reminds me of stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Like and almost like stuff you'd see on like Newgrounds, where it's all like hand drawn and like the stuff like salad fingers, although not nowhere near as like grotesque or obscure. But yeah, there's this like I don't know what you class it as, but there's this like art form in the late 90s, early 2000s, web based, but still hand illustrated. That was just so satisfying. It was bleak, even when it wasn't supposed to be, and it was fun at the same time. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to cut this video off short and conclude this horrific live review that I'm doing as well. But yeah, I've enjoyed revisiting beers from Torrside, and you can mark my words that I will be drinking more of their beers in the future. And go check them out if you haven't done so already. Stop overlooking this brewery because they're doing some absolutely wonderful stuff. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers. Didn't wink that time. But yeah, I might get stick for it, but this is beautiful. It really, really is beautiful. All three beers have been really solid, don't get me wrong, but this is leaps and bounds the best. You even get like a dark chocolate character. When dark chocolate's melted and it sort of like hits the back of your throat, I'm getting that now. I always seem to get the more really like intricate, like specific characteristics after I've actually recorded the video. But yeah, I'd say this was a success beer-wise. Feeling a little bit tipsy already, and I think it's because I've not eaten all day and I was out in the sun, so suffering minor. heat stroke there. But it'll all be good. And I'll be having some hazy IPAs in a little while as well. So, a couple more comments before I conclude this video. James Rothwell says, are you going to Indie Man this year? I'm going to have to skip it this year because my friends back in Germany are getting married and I'm going to spend a week or so in Germany around that time. But yeah, I wish I'd love to go because that was probably the best beer festival that I've been to. But I know Rob from Hopscene, who says thumbs up. I know Rob from Hopscene is going. I think Jake and Craig are going. Not too sure if Harry's going, but there will be a few of the other UK beer tuber guys there. And James Rothwell says, not sure Tories deserve good IPA. They're too busy like chugging down Doom Bar anyway. Going from Doom Bar to taxpayer-funded French champagne. Yeah, just I've got my working men's beer now. Shower a shite, the lot of them. But yeah, if I could get any perks with being labelled as Boris Johnson, I'm going to take them. It did used to get me into nightclubs when I was when I started drinking when I was a teenager. All my friends would have to pay entry, and then I'd just like play the jokey Boris Johnson card. I'd get free entry and like free drink, like free. The first 3 drinks were free, so it's like you might be taking the piss out of me, and it might not be the most best of intentions, but I'm gonna milk it. Plus, I've got to say the banter in work has been pretty fun. Because my team leader's away at the moment, and I'm not like a team leader advisor or anything like that, even though I joke around saying that myself. Nominated and elected PLA, but I'm in charge of logging and showing everyone sort of like Shuko results. We'll just leave that at that. We'll go into too much detail. I don't want to give away company that I get to because I don't want to get fired. Anyway, so yeah, and the group emails that I've been sending have all been signed as like me pretending to be the Prime Minister. It's really funny. You have to be there. And if you know me on a personal level, I am so derogatory when it comes to myself. So yeah, I'm all about if you can't take the piss out of yourself, then you're screwed. If you can't laugh at the worst aspects of life, yeah, it might be distasteful. Then what's the point? Life's just going to overwhelm, and you're going to get yourself to a horrible condition. So if you can laugh at, the worst of aspects of society, if you can kind of laugh at that but appreciate how severe they are, there's a difference. There's a difference between making a joke about like an horrific situation. There's a difference between making a joke about that than like, oh, well, I agree with that, or it's not that big of an issue. So, yeah, if you ever see me in person, first of all, it's going to be very awkward because I'm ridiculously shy on a face-to-face level. But don't worry about insulting me. Don't worry about saying something out of turn. Don't worry about making a joke that other people would probably, call up Antifa to swat you online or, expose all your personal information. You don't need to worry about that. Even if it's related to something that maybe a close friend or a family member's gone through, I'll still want to laugh about it if someone points out something funny. So that's what comedy's all about. And that's what's kind of annoying me about the political landscape now, which is primarily on the left. Let's not lie, although there are so many crybabies who are far leaning on the right. But it's just like every little thing, someone is upset. There's some sort of special interest group who's we're gonna stage a coup, or we're gonna have a protest or we're going to boycott this. It's like, don't be so childish. Anyway, I'm going to stop that there. But yeah, Torrside Brewing. Lovely, lovely stuff. The pale side of things, I think you can get much more exciting stuff, but when it comes to the darker beers and the smokier beers, you are in for such a treat, just like that mild. And I know I love milds anyway, so there is a bias there. But it's just a beautiful beer. It's a genuinely beautiful beer. And probably one of the best milds that I've had for a long time, actually. So definitely the best beer out of the three. But the other two, I wouldn't turn them down, even though I gave one 6.5 out of 10, which by my own scale is I wouldn't really want to try that again anytime soon. But then again, on cask, it might be such a different experience. But anyway, so I'm going to call it off there. Thank you to both James and Rob for commenting as I was recording this. I know I've picked a really awkward time to do this, so I'm not really worried about the viewership of the live video itself. But I hope you enjoyed this if you're watching the broadcast after it's been recorded. And I hope you enjoyed the reviews. If you want to watch the reviews again, even though you've seen me review the beers, then yeah, it's all good. It's all good. All multifaceted. I'm a complex person, and it shows in my high quality professional content. So yeah, I'm not too sure what the next brewery will be for my brewery showcase. Part of me is really wanting to have a few beers from Weird Beard, because again, they're a brewery that I just don't drink enough of, and every time I've had them, no matter how like straight faced and like simple the style might be, or if it's like this is a katsu curry pilsner that we've used with a Vermont ale yeast, and we've added all these spices. That's what I love about breweries like that. But I think because they get that reputation, I think they do get overlooked. Siren are going to be another brewery that I'll be covering on this series, and even some of the the bigger ones that we all know and all buy all the time, like Northern Cloudwater, Bird, and Dare. So yeah, it's a multifaceted thing, and we shall see. Anyway, thank you for sitting through this horrific live stream, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the content when it's uploaded. And have I got another comment before I leave? No, I think people have just left. At least I have 3 beers to drown my sorrows with. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and hopefully you'll join me next time. Cheers. And check out Torrside, because they're doing some really interesting stuff and very, very underappreciated and overlooked.